The Hungarian language is spoken by 14 million people, primarily living in Hungary, as well as parts of neighbouring countries such as Transylvania in Romania, Slovakia and Serbia. It's a Uralic language, being distantly related to Finnish, Estonian, Sami, Mari and Erzya. Within this family, it's part of the Ugric branch, alongside the various Khanty and Mansi languages. Proto-Uralic, the ancestor of all these languages, was spoken around 4,000 to 5,000 years ago in an area of northern Russia in or near the Ural Mountains. In this time, the language has changed, and we can divide its changes into a number of historical periods. In this video, I'll show you this history, looking at each period through the lens of a list of 22 words, which I'll read aloud in a reconstructed pronunciation. Between each stage, I'll show the precise changes that occurred, written in sound change notation, a formalised system of symbols showing what changes to what under which conditions. Here are the specific conventions I've used for this video, so take note if you want to read along, but otherwise just listen to my explanations and hear their effects as we go through. Be aware as well that the ordering of changes, particularly around the Proto-Hungarian and Old Hungarian stages, may be a little off, but I have tried to get it as good as I can. Before we begin, I'll mention that this is the 7th video in this series, so when you finish this one, check out the full playlist linked in the description for more. There's also a full bibliography of my sources for this and all future videos linked below. So, here is our initial word list in Proto-Uralic. Umta, Oingi, Shingiri, Bala, Gaga, Korma, Kota, Suni, Igini, Kachi, Kiwi, Lunta, Monkey, Nimi, Witti, Uva, Shini, Tulka, Tungi, Utka, Waski, Withimi. Moving to Proto-Ugric, we see mainly changes to the consonant system. The voiced dental segments merge with L, and the sibilants shift from the original 3 to 2 in Ugric. N is retroflexed in certain positions, stop clusters metathesize, and the velar nasal is post-stopped into vocalically. Initially, the velar stop is backed before back vowels, and a final back A splits into 2 sounds, which likely differed in height. Unta, Aini, Thinkiri, Pala, Kalya, Korma, Kota, Thuni, Ikini, Kachi, Kiwi, Lunta, Monkey, Nimi, Witti, Uva, Sini, Tulka, Tinki, Ukta, Waski, Willimi. In the Proto-Hungarian period, the consonant system was fundamentally restructured. First, we see lowering of U in I stems near back consonants, and subsequent loss of the so-called laryngeal, which was likely a voiced velar continuant. The backed velar and initial labial stops are fricated, and the low front vowel is raised to E. In nasal stop clusters, the stops are voiced, and further voiced stops arise from other sounds. The affricates become fricatives, and medial singlet stops are also voiced and subsequently lenited. Geminate stops are degeminated, and nasals are lost before stops, creating a new system of voiced and voiceless stops and voiced fricatives. Intervocalic nasals are fricated, the high back unrounded vowel is lowered in A stems, and the dental fricative is lost. The voiced bilabial and dental fricatives are lost, low final vowels are raised and rounded, and final vowels are lost after y and r. In Proto-Uralic, I stems lost their final vowel when certain suffixes were applied. When in Ugric the velar nasal changed intervocalically, this created allomorphs either with or without the stop. But in the Proto-Hungarian period, this system disappeared, and words were levelled to one of the two forms. Which form survived varied based on the word, so some words kept the stop, which was voiced and denasalized in Proto-Hungarian, while others kept only the nasal, which was fricated. Adu, Aji, Igiri, Felu, Chaji, Charmu, Chazu, Uni, Ijini, Keshi, Kiwi, Ludu, Magi, Niwi, Witi, Uwu, Sini, Tullu, Tugh, Utu, Washi, Wiliwi. The form of the language you've just heard is roughly the form of the earliest Hungarian inscriptions in the 10th and 11th centuries. As we move through the Old Hungarian period, we see a lot of vowel changes. Glides are vocalized into diphthongs, the high back unrounded vowel is lost, initial glides are often lost or change, and unrounded final vowels are mostly lost in back harmony words, leaving earlier vowels short. The voiced velar fricative disappears, and a number of vowels are lowered. Around this time, the last final short vowels are lost, where we see the previous vowel receive compensatory lengthening. Vowels continue to shift, notably including the rounding of the low back vowel and shortening of word final vowels. The velar fricative shifts to glottal, palatal stops emerge, and a number of vowels undergo rounding. W shifts to V, diphthongs monophthongize, and word final H is lost. At this time, the language was taking a lot of Indo-European loanwords, which were often very structurally different to the native Uralic stock. Together with regular vowel losses, this created a lot of difficult consonant clusters, which were resolved in a variety of ways. These changes were actually productive all between the 10th and 18th centuries, but I've placed them here for simplicity. These clusters often formed when an inflectional suffix was added and stem vowels lost, so when a penthesis occurred, this could be analogically extended to the unsuffixed form, leading to the apparent appearance of a vowel in the stem. This happened to the word for 3 in our list. I'll also mention the word for name. We would expect this to undergo the same processes as the word for stone, but instead the final glide is preserved. This is likely due to its frequent use with possessive suffixes, with the form analogically extended to the unsuffixed form. Od, Oj, Eger, Fel, Hoj, Harum, Haz, Een, Een, Gash, G, lúd, mog, nef, ut, öv, sen, dol, the, ut, vosh, vele. The final set of changes brings us to the modern day. We see certain sporadic palatalizations of N and L, reduction of the vowel inventory through a merger of the two E's, a number of assimilations, H metathesis, and, most recently, the merger of the palatal lateral and approximant. Odd, oj, egir, fail, hoj, harum, has, een, gesh, ge, lúd, mog, nev, ut, öv, sen, dol, the, ut, vosh, vele. So we reached the end. This video was over 8 months in the making, so I hope you enjoyed. A reminder that there's a link to my bibliography in the description, as well as a playlist with all 7 of these so far. If there's a language you want to see me cover, or you have an idea for another video, let me know. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.